Tony D and Little Jones asleep on the couch, and this is a screenwriter's rant on John Carpenter's Suburban Scream. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 12, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Oh, this is going to be good. First off, I talked about this on Hollywoke. Hot take, John Carpenter is back, baby. After 13 years, he's going to direct again. But this time, he's directing John Carpenter's Suburban Scream. It's an unscripted reality show. Unscripted show, horror show. Which means they're going to reenact true stories. So it's not going to be original, but it's being directed by John. He's the man. So they're going to take these real stories. They're going to be interviews with the people who actually experience stuff. And then they're going to show you the horror. Oh my God. I'm so psyched for this. I have to get Peacock. I'm not sure if I have it. October 13th. So I know there's not really a lot of script writing on this. But there'd be some. In order to write the horror, you'd have to script the dramatizations. And I've never really scripted. Have I ever done that? Some true story stuff. I did a couple of documentary spec scripts. It's kind of like that. Except in this case, you're dramatizing what happened. That's pretty crazy. He's got a drill and gloves on. It looks like he's out to kill somebody. Woman with an axe. I mean, and if Carpenter's going to direct it, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. So you're going to have the interview, and then you're going to see what happened, or maybe you see what happened and then the interview. This is the classic tale of an abandoned house in the neighborhood, and kid goes up there and finds a bunch of crazy stuff. We used to have that back in the day. There was an abandoned house. It usually just was an old person died, and then nobody took possession of the house, and it kind of just would stay in limbo, and it would kind of deteriorate, and then kids would eventually break in and just there's that old house, who lives there? I've never seen anybody come in or out of it. And then somebody break in there because it would be falling apart anyway. We used to do that to old houses. I mean, at a certain point, the house would be so dilapidated. It was actually a danger to break in there. We went into a house one time. God, I was a kid. And the floor had collapsed. The whole kitchen had, like, all the appliances, I guess the weight had fallen through the floor because the floor had rotted. And, it was just like a funnel to where all the stuff had, like, fallen into. And it was scary. It was kind of a scary place. It was just, you got to be careful. Don't go into abandoned houses is the thing. They are scary because you can actually get hurt. But yeah, there's a story here about a guy in a rabbit costume with an axe. That sounds scary. This guy, I don't know, looks like he's being touched by something while he's asleep. That's always scary. I know. It's not much here, but I'm just so psyched that John Carpenter is back. I mean, he's the man. If you haven't seen The Thing, the original The Thing that he did, it's unbelievable. It's the best. It's the absolute best horror movie ever. Kurt Russell's so great in it. They talked about a sequel for that movie. And maybe this is part of rehabilitating their career. People do go through phases in their career. They get big, and then people kind of get sick of you, and you kind of go away for a while, and then a lot of times you come back like 20 years later, because your stuff permeates out there for so long, and people kind of miss you. They were sick of you for a while, and then 10, 15 years go by, and then people rediscover you, and like, where's this guy? And then your phone rings, and next thing you know, you're doing John Carpenter's Suburban Screams. And hopefully some new movies, John. Do another movie, John. Something new. I say something new. I would hire him in a hot minute to direct the Pineys. Absolutely, 100%. He'd be great. He'd be great for it. He's not necessarily a comedy guy. He's more of a horror guy, but still. He's just such a good director. So creative. And I'm just a huge fan. I'm totally biased. Let me put that out there. Totally biased for John Carpenter. I even like the beginning of Vampires. You can't like the ending because the whole movie kind of falls apart, but the rumor is I think they ran out of money. But the first half of that movie, or first third, I'll say, is pretty good. Pretty crazy. But then, yeah, it doesn't really hold together. But this looks cool. It's short, it's fun, scary, and it's real. That's a good angle. Real horror stories. That's kind of what I do with the Pineys. I take real horror stories, folk tales, and, turn them into something cool. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Are you back there, Little Joan? I heard you. Oh, yeah, she's behind me. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks to all who came out to the Golden Nugget last night. Thanks to all who came to Tyler's Mill Senior Living today. And thank you to all who come out tomorrow to the comic book store in Glassboro, and then the Pirate event on Saturday in Marcus Hook, and then the Elk Lodge comic book show in Tom's River. All the links are below on my website. Hope to see you there, and we'll see you tomorrow.